So if I remember correctly, we are on a brand new challenge, and with the Git project, and we ran into where we need to refactor some of the other parts of the challenges that we did in order to work with this today. So basically, right tree is going to be we have to create blob objects. And we have to create tree objects all together. So it's going to be a recursive function that we're building. And we kind of got to where the recursion was working, but it also doesn't work. So let's see, we have right tree. So what's happening here is we have our right tree object, and I need to... I don't even know if we're going to use this anymore. I can't remember. Okay, so right tree object. We get, okay, so the directory of where we are is where we start the right tree object. We create a list of the objects. Oh, which is going to be one of these tree objects. Okay, for dir object result. Okay, so we figure out, okay, so we get the directory that we've read, and we get all the items in there, which is going to include directories and files. So if we have it, then go ahead and get the file name, get the metadata information, find out if it's a file. If it's not a file, it's a directory. If it's a object, we're going to get the checksum from this using our hash object. Now, that unfortunately doesn't do this correctly, because this is assuming args coming in from the parent, because it assumes it's only going to be executed from main, which is the problem here. So we need to update you to just take in a path and then go from there. So that's going to be a pretty significant update for this. Or at least it feels like it's going to be a pretty significant update. This is one of those future me is now here, and now I can yell at the past me for being, you know, for not being future sighted, when past me there's probably a video on YouTube saying like, hey, future me, screw you. Something like that. This is the fun back and forth that we get to have with ourselves, is that we're constantly talking to future and past ourselves, and then just we have nothing good to say about them. All right, so if I just update you now, right now, okay, so match args, right now it's just assuming that it takes in this dash W, and we kind of assume that because like the way that this is working is I wonder I can sort of allow this and keep this working here if I change this to be, instead of just args, we just have like, we want the right flag, which would be a Boolean. So if that's true, then they're going to go into here. And then I want the path, which is going to be a path. Okay, so we get that. Then this immediately should probably cause, well, okay, a couple problems here. So first off, this is only checking the -w to see if that exists. So I can update you to say if right flag and then we're going to bail if you don't exist. Okay, so if right flag, do all these things. Otherwise, we're going to bail and say, right. I guess, you know what? Let's not bail. Let's just do unimplemented. Because that's true. We've not implemented this. Okay, so file name. Oh, we do need, okay, so we need, oh, but we have the file name. That's gonna be the path. So instead of file, okay, we get a file and at the path. And then we sort of go from there. Now in right tree, you're upset because are we writing this? Yes. So this can be a true flag. And then we're going to get the path, which is going to be something like that. Oh, this is just a string. So I need the file name, which is this. Now I have this path here. I wonder if under DirObject we can get a path. Return to the full. Oh, so this is what I probably want here. So get. So this could be the file path. But that's obviously not the name, right? So we can also get the name from the metadata, or is it just going to be dir object? File name into string. Okay, so that gives us that. You're gonna be now the file path. The trait bound OS strings error is not satisfied. Oh, you need, wait, are you an option? No, you're a result. What type of result is this? This is a anyhow result. Hey, you should be able to handle any of those things. Okay, so file name into string returns a result string OS string. Wait a second, you don't return an error. On failure, ownership of the original OS string is returned. No wonder it doesn't work. It's not an error. I don't care. So, we have to unwrap? I don't like that. Or I have to, oh, I have to map the error. And we can, I could bail from here, or I can just create an, I think, what is it? It's like, I want to create an error, anyhow error. Let's see. And then we'll question mark that. And then that should be much better. And then we don't actually care about the original string. So that's fine. That's interesting. I had heard that some people did something interesting with errors, but it's so rare to see that. Usually it's always the same thing. Like everybody's sort of like migrated over to the anyhow error, like sort of like that style, like something that impulse into error, or I guess impulse the error trait. Okay. In main, we have to update you. So now we have to find out if, okay, so we get args of 1, and then I want to see, let right, like I guess right flag. Okay, so if args of 2, so if args of 2 is equal, what are you? Esther is equal to dash w. Oh, but this is just a flag, so I should be able to do something like this. Okay, so that gives me that. Now you become the right flag. And then it wants the path. So that will be, we'll get, I don't think we have a path here, right? So we need to create a path from the current directory and hand it in there. I want to do new is there a way for me to set this to be the current directory? Is it already the current directory? No, it's empty. Okay, so how do I get, okay, so I get a new path, and then I want to, can I get my current directory? Is it already the current directory? It just says it was empty. I think it's fine, right? I think it already is the current directory we're in. So if I just set that, we have right flag, and then the path. Okay. And now we're getting the checksum out of this, and we're printing that out. Okay, so you're fine, which means I can come back to here and theoretically we have now written the tree. Let's see. I get this. Okay, so if your file, I now theoretically have this checksum, and I create this new tree object with, it is a file, it is a checksum, it is a name. Otherwise, it's a directory. And I go do that. I push that file object into here, and then we're doing one level, right? I'm not doing recursive yet. And so after this is done, I'm debugging these objects and then crashing, because as one does. So that's, I don't know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna find out. We just want to run this, don't we? So I just want to see that it prints out these file objects the way we expect them to. So this is a cargo run write tree. Okay, here's what we got. We got objects. We got 2 of them. We have 10064 object type blob with this checksum. The name run build script build JSON. Run build script build. What? What? I don't have that file here. Where did I find, where did my computer find that? Okay. I'm really curious where we found these objects. So what I want to do is, okay, so I'm getting these. I kind of want to print out, I guess, this file path. No, I want to print out this path. So write tree object path, our path. All right, where are you coming from? Okay, so we start with dot. Oh, and then it goes into target. And then target debug. Then it goes into fingerprint. Then it goes into anyhow. Ugh. And then we get this. Interesting. Okay, that explains that. Do I write my own unit test for this? So I've written a few unit tests, but not specifically for this one. For some of the others, I did write some unit tests, but I've not really been going probably as many unit tests as I should have. It certainly would have made things easier if I'd done it a little bit more unit testy beforehand. How about implementing merge and git pull? We are going, I think that would be a little bit much. This challenge doesn't seem to go over that. It's going to be creating a commit and then cloning a repository as the end. So that, as far as I can tell, that's what it's going to be. There is a thing here. There's a vote where we can vote for extensions. And there is a, they haven't written these yet. I think that these are like potential ideas for code crafters to do. And one of them is merging. They don't have a pull. Merging, rebasing. So that would be interesting if they did that. So here, I'll throw in a vote for those two. One fun thing you can do is just run the git command and use that as the expected test result. Oh yeah, that's definitely true too. It makes writing unit tests really. Is that unit test or is that I guess that would be a unit test if I'm doing it for each specific command. It feels like more like integration test though, like across the entire thing. Just cheating. Is it really cheating? I guess it is in some ways. But then you can deploy that on a system that doesn't even have Git and then it works. So it is a good idea. Feels like some sort of reverse engineering practice. In I guess like something that's really important is to remember that the end result is the only thing that really matters here. So if it's never meant to become a full sale 100% Git has died and replace this thing, then it's fine, right? Like this can it basically is a version of Git that you now have tests proving that acts exactly like Git does. So if Git changes, your test will fail, and therefore you can use those to prove this is the same as Git except it's in Rust. So in some ways that could be extremely valid. It's the business case. It's like depends upon who your target audience is and what they want. Now, if you want it to do different things than Git, now it won't work anymore. Okay, so back to this. You're going to this one now. I'm not reading our .gitignore, which is probably why that's why it's going into target here, because we can open up .gitignore here and see, okay, so debug target. I wonder if I can like add in to match with one of these. I've not really played around with path for that, so maybe we need to check that out. Okay, so when we're doing this here, okay, so your file, okay, so is file, that's true. So if you're not true, we're throwing this in there with false. So what I really want to check to see is if the name of the file is like, okay, so if dir path oh wait, no, if path. Oh, wait, the name. After I join this together, if dir path, can I look into like contains components? Repeat separator is ignored. Okay, so it just becomes A and B, and it strips away. Okay, so it normalizes it. Okay. Okay, so if you're, it's not contains. Do I have to get an iter? Wait, this is already an iterator, right? Yeah, okay, so you're already an iterator. I can find, I could count. No, I want to filter. Oh, there's a component. If the component I want you to be a string, don't I? But it could be something else. Component aster as an OS stir. to stir. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. If that's equal to, let's say, target. That will count. And then we can say, okay, so if, I already did this as if, count is equal to, is greater than 0. Let's debug found target skipping. I'm not actually going to skip at this point in time, but I want to know if we get this. Oh, and you're an option. Unwrapper default. Okay, so found target skipping. Found target skipping, found target skipping, found target skipping. Okay, so, oh, weird. Okay. Well, I didn't actually skip, did I? So it actually still does the thing. So if I skipped and we're in the middle of a loop, right? We're in the middle of this for loop here. I want to just continue. Okay. We found this, which should be under, that's probably under debug. That's my guess. Oh, starts with, that could be good too. Iter will give you an iterator of OSTer, so iter.any, .any. And you can use, and you can compare, oh, I can compare that. Okay, excellent. Let's redo this a little bit. So if the dir path, okay, so we get our components. I'm filtering this, we get our components. So now, okay, so iter will give you an iter of OSTer. So, now I couldn't do an iter off of components. So we already have an iter there. So we have our component here. We have component. Now you are a, oh, path buff. Okay. Oh, so off of path. Okay, so we could just do an iter. Oh, produces an iterator over the, okay. So that's pretty much the same thing then. So iter filter. So now we have a component, which is the OSTer. I want to now just compare these. If you're equal to target, which you can't compare a referenced OSTer with stir. Do I have to dereference you? Yes. And then we count. Okay, that's nice. And then you should be the exact same thing. Okay, excellent, good. Components is a typed version of iter. Iter is strings, components is a typed, oh, okay. So if I give it a type, I could know what it was and that would be fine. This seems like a bad idea if anyone ever has a directory named target in their source. Look, if they're using my, if they're, oh man, we should just throw like a bunch of landmines in here. And it's like, look, if you're doing this for real and you're trying real work for this, we're going to like do fun stuff to your code, something like that. We're gonna have to figure something out. That being said, what I would like to do is iterate over all the things that we can see in get_ignore and then go through that, right? So I need to grab debug target. Now, is there a way off pathbuff to like say, hey, do you have like strip out everything in the ignore file? It would be really nice if they did. So if new path buff, Do I have anything in here that allows me to like strip it out? I don't think so. Oh, there's a crate from Burnt Sushi to parse ignore files. Okay, that'd be right. Rightfully called ignore. Okay, so there's a crate called. First of all, did they give us this crate? Let's see. We have request bytes Tokyo clap plate SHA-1 hex anyhow this error. Okay, so no, we don't have that. So let's go grab it. Let's see. Crates. We want ignore. A fast library for efficiently matching ignore files such as get ignore against file paths. Okay. Nice. The ignore crate. Okay, it's fast recursive directory iterator that respects various filters such as cloud filter and get ignore files. This crate also provides lower level direct. Okay. So we want to pull in ignore. Okay, so there's no features that we're going to need for this. Also need to reload. There we go. We have ignore now. This code will recursively traverse the current directory while automatically filtering out files and directories according to ignore blobs found in files like .ignore, like .ignore and .getignore. Okay, so for result in walk new, each item yielded by the editor is either a directory entry. Okay, so oh, so wait, this is going to be replacing my path, my dir. Doesn't Codecrafters ignore your TOML though? I don't think it does. We're gonna find out, aren't we? Here's what we can do. Let's write a little bit of this in write tree. Let's just see right up here, because we know it's going to call this. I want to walk through. So what? For like file. I probably shouldn't call it file. For object in walk. Creates a new. Okay, so for the path given, so we handed the path. Question mark that. Can I debug the object? Oh, wait, what is that? That's, oh, wait, does that not implement an error? Oh, that's too bad. Wait a second. Oh, each item implements an error. Oh, I get it. We're gonna do that. Okay, so now if I run you, don't want to run you. Okay, so we see a bunch of other stuff. Let's get rid of our other debugs. Let's see, directory. So walking without get ignore. Oh, this one, line 20. Wait, that's mine. I need you. Okay, want that one. Okay, I think we're good now. It's a lot of things, which is a little bit. Oh, look at that. It's going into .get. Okay. So I need to touch a dot ignore. And we're going to put dot get in here. So it doesn't try to recursively run its own thing, because that's going to suck. No, it's still going into get. Where am I? Yeah, okay. I wrote this, right? Let's see. There was a text in the toml. I think that we tried it before, didn't we? I don't remember. Don't edit this. Changes here will not reflect when code crafters test your code and might even cause build failures. Yeah, that's that is the thing, isn't it? So I might actually be able to do this, can I? There's also a get ignore type that lets you do that. Okay. You can just add the use statement. If they ignore the toml, you'll get a compiler error. That's true. I think actually we tested this and they do use this. So here, if I were to, I would like to get it to at least not be showing the .get stuff. That being said, if I just go to get ignore and we just throw in .get like that, will that make? No, it's still going into here. Yeah, so these ones here, so walking without get ignore, that is right here. So walking without get ignore here. And then I'm passing the object that I'm getting from walk new. So which include respecting .getignore files. So theoretically, that shouldn't be showing that. But maybe I'm reading this wrong. Which include respecting .getignore files, right? That means ignoring it. But I feel like it's not, unless I'm doing this wrong. Like, do I need to do something like this? No, see, this is still going into... I don't get it. Okay, so you're, let me try what you were saying, Vivex. We will try the walk builder instead. Display, you're just vibing? That's good, right? Okay, so let's try... Okay, we're gonna go to right tree. we're going to try walk builder instead. So walk builder new, and at the path. Is it like a build? Oh, build. Wait. What's the result? Is the result showing me that I don't want it? Okay, so it still went into here. There's no error for this. That's not correct. So that's not right. That also doesn't respect the what's the path that I'm handing them? Maybe the path is wrong. So debug path, we're going to walk. Of course, there's a lot. Okay, so let's actually not do this for a second. Path we're going to walk. Okay, so we start with dot. Oh, and then it went into dot get. Oh, hold on. I think I know what's going on. Let's panic. Yes, I'm aware. You're gonna be an unhappy run through. Okay. So when we do this, we get dot cargo toml test, your get sh lock readme code crafters yaml source cat file else tree hash objects lib main init utils. Okay. That's working. So the problem was I hadn't changed this loop through here, and it's recursively calling itself with like added objects in there. One of them being .get, because I'm not using the walk at that point in time, which of course, as you can imagine, once it's already inside the directory, it's like, well, that's not in the .get ignore, so therefore we're walking all of that. So this needs to be replaced with this one. However, we now know what we expect to see. So I want to run this. I want to send this on up. We're going to want to see whether or not they tell us that we're not allowed to have this in our cargo toml, or if it just runs sort of as expected. So let's do status. I don't need that ignore. We're going to okay, so using the ignore create to walk and display files and folders. We're going to push this up. We're going to make this full screen. And it should rebuild everything because it sees the cargo toml has changed. I believe I have .get in the get ignore folder, so that should be fine. While we're waiting for that, there. So we have you right here. Yeah, okay, so it's recompiling everything. Yep, and there, I just saw it. Ignore is in here, so that's good. I feel it should ignore without that. We can test locally if that works. Their documentation lies. I can imagine that their documentation is one of those white lies where it's basically trying to scare you into not breaking their stuff so they don't have to support it. So they can basically say like, hey, you changed this. Now, we're not going to help you fix that. Just put it back the way it's supposed to be. As opposed to, okay, well, what did you try to add? Okay, we'll try to figure out how it's working. I'm guessing that if you know what you're doing, you can just sort of update it. They probably won't support anything with it though. Okay, here we go. So expected, it failed because we got our unwrap on no such file. Okay, so we got those problems. Oh, we got an error on stage 3. Test failed there. Okay, so a bunch of warnings, warning, 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 warning. Panicked, add called result unwrap on not found, no such file or directory, hash object, line 60. If we take a look at this, did you send us back? No. That was create a blob object, I believe. Oh, is it because we were in the middle of writing that? Hash object, line 60. Oh, save the file to disk if it already exists. Don't do anything with it. Oh, right, this. Oh, because, okay. If the path exists, return. Otherwise, write it. Oh, I would have thought that would have worked then. I could... I think that's working. All right. Okay, so I want to go to our git ignore. Let's remove git and try this again. So I want to cargo run u. We go into source. Okay, you're right. We do not go into .git, so I don't have to have that in there. Perfect. I mean, I did write that, right? Yeah, okay, so we're good to go. So next up, in write tree, I want to, okay, so I don't need to get the dir like this. We have our objects that we're setting. We get, okay, object and walk builder. Okay, we get that. We probably want our dir. We have our dir entry, so I just want a dir entry. Okay, so we get our dir entry there. Now we're going to replace this for loop. And just throw everything into here. Okay, so we get our dir entry. And I want our dir object. Okay, results, if let okay. Oh, that actually feels like what this is, doesn't it? I wonder if I can do... that. Okay, so we get the file path, we get the metadata. We're trying to get the name, so we get our file name, no method name. Okay, so that changes. So this is now an OS stir. I can just do toStir instead. You're an option now. So I kind of want to do this as an unwrap or else. And you become an anyhow error. Oh, unwrap or else, wait, doesn't return an error, does it? Unwrap or... Oh, wait, it's an option. Now, okay, so this gives me an option. I want... It's been too long. We used to do this all the time. It was... I could map it. That's not right. I want to... Is it like sum or? Oh, transforms the... Okay, that's what it was. Transforms it to an error, to a result, and then runs that. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Checksum. Okay, so we then run hash object. Hash object, we hand it the right flag, and then the file path, so we can hash the object properly. Do we have the path? We have this path here, but oh, you need a file path buff. To path buff, okay. We're creating a tree object new, which then is going to go into here. So the name needs to be an owned. Okay, otherwise we do this. Okay. Now we're going to crash after one of these. So that should be fine. I don't need to check if it's a target anymore, because now we know that it's not in there. So we get our path, we get the checksum of the tree, so we recursively run write tree object on the thing that we're running on, and then we say that this is a directory, and we go from there. Objects push, okay, that bail, okay, so we can do that, that's good. We can now show the objects that we've created so far. Let's try this. With anyhow, you can also do option context error message. Oh, really? Oh, that's really cool. So we have an option. Wait, but that's option context error message. I can't do like context like that. How do I do it in the context of this thing? I guess I could look at the documentation you copied. Okay, so maybe get, oh, dot context. Okay, so it is just dot context. And then you are just a message. Like that. Okay, cool. I like it. All right, so let's run this locally. Main RS line 23. Super upset. Is that really the error that it had? Okay, could not load directory object. So we called an unwrap on an error value, could not load directory object. Now line, if I go to main and we go to line 23, that's not really helpful, right? That's just going to my write tree, and then we're unwrapping, but okay, so in here it failed in some way. Okay, so I was sort of hoping that it would I thought that when you unwrap it also prints out the error itself. I guess it kind of did. Cannot load directory object. So the question is that from one of these here? Oh, here it is. Cannot load directory object. Here's my error where I bailed. Okay, so that's an if. Okay, so if let okay dir object. I lost the error. So I need to maybe match this, or I wonder if I don't care at all. If I just say let dir object equals object, and we just let you do your thing. Now I should get the actual error written out. That's cool. Okay, so we unwrapped on a value dot slash oh, file name too long. Oh, did I recurse infinitely? I feel like I may have recursed infinitely. I think that's pretty much what happened here. I don't have a, so my exit condition for the recursive function is not correct. It is a nice path though, it is. So I didn't do step one. Step one of doing recursive programming is always have an exit condition right away at the very top. I think the walk returns the current directory as well, which might be the cause. Oh no. Oh, okay. So yes. How can we know if we're in if that's the current directory? If the path's current directory with walk, this really shouldn't be recursive. Well, let's see what I'm doing here. I'm for object in walk builder new. Okay, so I'm creating this here. Wait, is this already getting? Oh, walk builder already gets it recursively, doesn't it? It does. Okay, so it's I don't need to be recursive anymore. You're right. Okay. This is a lot easier then. Okay, so directory file. Okay, so we get that. If you're a file, you do that one. If you're a if you're a directory, I don't care. What do I want to do if you're a directory?